Because a lot of these food sensitivity tests just seem to be flawed in one way or another, the best way to really figure out which foods are creating trouble for you is to do a type of elimination diet. And that means that we need to remove all the foods that most commonly create trouble for the most amount of people. And we need to do that for a 30-day period. Now that means that you can't have a single bite. You can't have a single sip. No matter what it is that you're removing, you gotta really be real serious about removing. And that means you need to watch ingredients. That means if you go out to eat, you really need to know what you're actually eating and ask them what they're putting in your food. It's gonna be a little bit difficult and it's gonna take some work to do this, but if you have one bite or one sip of a food that you're removing, you really need to start that 30 days all over again, because we really need to see how the body functions when you completely remove the burden of the food that's creating the sensitivity in the first place. Now this can be a difficult task for some people to do. You really need to watch your ingredients. You really need to plan ahead so you don't get like starving and then make stupid decisions and think that, hey, maybe golden grams in a taco shell is a good idea. You got to really know what you're doing, and you got to take this 30 days seriously. You can't be like, oh, I'll remove all those foods for all the Thursdays and I'm still gonna get what I want. It's not gonna happen. You got to remove everything for 30 days. Now I outline how to do this elimination process in detail in my book, Kick Your Fat in the Nuts. So I'll put a link to that book where you can download it for free and get the entire book for free, and you'll go through chapter 9. I'll show you how to do this whole process. Now if you don't want to read the whole book, I'm also going to put a link to a blog post where I pretty much put that whole chapter on my website so that anybody can access it. So you'll have some resources you can pick from in the description below this video that you can get for free. But basically, here's what you're going to do. You're going to remove all processed foods, all processed foods, all sweeteners, all grains of any form, all dairy, all legumes, and all alcohol. I just said that. All alcohol. Come on, you can do it. It's not a big deal. It's 30 days. You can do anything for 30 days. So we just remove all of these foods, or any foods containing any ingredients that are included in those foods. And then we got to be like, well, what do I eat? And for a lot of people, like, there's nothing left. What am I going to eat? There's a lot of food. There's this stuff called real food, and it grows out of the ground, and it grows from animals, and you can find real food. So in the blog post or in my book, I have a full list of things like, oh yeah, these are foods that I can eat. You know, another thing you can do to make things a little bit easier is my friends Dallas and Melissa Hartwig wrote this great book that it starts with food, and that book kind of teaches people how to do a similar elimination diet, and they call it a Whole 30. So you can just Google Whole 30 recipes and you'll find all kinds of things, and oh, these foods are Whole 30 approved. And so it might make it a little bit easier to find some things that you want to eat and that you can fill your plate with.